Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Mother, hold our hand, take us from unreal to real. Take us from darkness of ignorance to the light of the wisdom. Take us from death to immortality. Peace, peace, peace. Jai Guru, welcome to everyone. As I chant this, I was recollecting that all life forms have a beginning and all life forms have an end, which is birth to death. I got this message and I talked about it, and our Parent Teachers Association parents, they presented me with this wonderful trophy on their own imagination, wonderfully done, which had a teacher, a parent, holding the child and climbing up the two ladders, up and up and up. It has got a beginning, which is the base, which is the born, the birth of the child. And they're going up and up and up, but there is no end. Human beings have no end. It all depends on how much courage you have and how far do you want to go. You would say, wait. What about we are not going to die? This is the beauty of the ancient India's Vedanta and the rich heritage today of our great rishis is we all are born, and what dies is our body is died. What is born is also our body is born. You and I are eternal. And this is the message of the Vedanta in which you and I are practicing today. And once you understand it and make it your own, Sarvang Kama, abundance of things comes on your way. There is no end. I'll give you some practical example. Think. Let's talk about forget spirituality. Isaac Newton, is he dead? Einstein, is he dead? Bertrand Russell, Freud, are they dead? Philosophers. And now look at the spiritual world of India's rich heritage. Shankaracharya, Rishi Vashishta, Riddhi Agastha, Vivekananda, Paramahansa Ramakrishna. Just imagine Guru Nanak Ji, Guru Gobind, Ramana Maharshi, Rishi Vyasa. Are they dead? Mahavir Jain, Guru Nanak, Muhammad. Are they dead? Jesus Christ, Buddha, are they dead? No, their body is not dead, but they have become immortal. Can you and I take up the journey? Vedanta says that if you take on the spirit, believe in it absolutely, thoroughly, and take up the journey, it is worded to happen. It will happen. A beautiful lore of the Vedanta study that, the oyster clam, which is deep in the ocean, they come up on the top of the surface because they know, imagine the oyster shells know, and they come up onto the top of the surface when the Swati Nakshatra is supposed to be coming and be seen. Swati Nakshatra, those of you know a little bit of ancient India and the rich heritage of astronomy, is a very powerful nakshatra. When that nakshatra comes in, one drop of rain, the Swati nakshatra, when it comes in, the clam shells come up and open the clam and wait. One drop of rain falls on it, on the little oyster which is inside. It shuts up the clam and dives down deep within and goes down to the ocean bed and keeps working at it, till that raindrop becomes a pearl. And the ancient Vedanta tells us, for you and me, the journey is Shravanam. Listen. Vedantic tool, great Guru's talks, read something. Mananam, reflect upon it, read more, listen more. Shravanam, Mananam. And then, like the oyster shell, keep on that, holding on to it, and just nurture it. And keep on, nididhyasanam, meditate on it. And it will happen. It is going to happen. I'm going to share with you a few of the stories today. You know, Swami Vivekananda, in this book, you can see this book, Swami Vivekananda tells his life stories, what has happened to him. He's sharing with one or two stories I'm sharing with you. You know, similar to this. Once, a very senior monk, he was meditating in the forest, in the mountainous forest, and a shepherd, he used to take his cows and bull and the sheep into the forest to go and eat and then bring them back. And he used to see this senior monk. He used to carry on, study the whole day and meditate and throughout the night and carry on, do the japa. And the shepherd used to feel, I am nothing. I'm so small. And he's so learned. He's so divine. One day he built up a lot of courage and he goes and asks the senior monk, Sir, would you please teach me something so that I also can do something? The senior monk said, You fool, you are just a shepherd. What do you know of God? You cannot understand it. You better concentrate only on your sheep and the cows and the bull. The man, broken hearted, he went off. But he couldn't forget. And he kept on saying, God, can't I get also? Why is it that I don't know anything? And he kept on thinking of God and kept on thinking and feeling very morose. He will hardly eat. He will somehow, and he went leaner. And then one day again picked up courage and he again went to the same monk. And he said, Sir, please teach me something. Teach me something. Again the monk said, You fool, you understand? You cannot get to God. God is not meant for fools like you. Go and concentrate only on taking your cows and bulls and the sheep. The poor man, heart totally shattered. He again went and kept on, somehow trudging along whole day and going back. His family, wife and children said, What has happened to you? He said, I don't know. I want to. I want to know about God. After some time, wife told him, Why don't you again go and ask him? He said, He has told me already twice. He said, Go and ask him. So he again goes and asks him, So please tell me something about God. Can I see God? So the monk, just to get rid of him, said, Okay, you see that tall bull, the big bull? He is God. You think of him and you pray to him as God. And the shepherd was delighted. And he went and started choices of the green grass, keeping him clean, washing him every day, taking care of him, putting little flour at his feet, and making him eat, and kept on. The bull became his God. And he couldn't think of anything else. Whole day he would work, and he became energetic, glowing. And as he was going on, days passed, weeks passed, months passed. Then one day he suddenly heard, My son, my son, my son. He said, My God, the bull is talking. And he goes close to the bull and he says, he could again hear, My son, my son, my child. How can the bull be talking? There's something is wrong. And then suddenly he realized it is not the bull. That was coming from within him. And he realized that I have now understood. And suddenly something happened to him. His body was glowing, full of light. And he realized that the power is within everything, within everyone, including himself. And he went to thank the same old monk who was chanting away for days and years, and very senior monk, very serious practitioner, from the books, doing mantra, doing meditation. He goes and touches his feet and says, "Sir, please, I came to thank you." And the senior monk opened his eyes and saw, surprise. My God, he was glowing with light. Your face is glowing. What happened to you? He said, "Sir, you only gave me. You told me that bull to take him as a God. And I took him as God. And I have found God. Sir, thank you." Now it was the time for the same monk to touch this shepherd's feet and say, "You truly have found with your faith." Just like that Swati Nakshatra, the clam took one thing and made it a pearl, a one little drop. Drop of rain comes with a drop of speck of sand. That sand became. I'll tell you some more wonderful stories. I get so excited sharing them with you. And, you know, Swami Vivekananda tells that once he heard that there is a man, if you go with any question to him, he will straight away tell you what is the question and what is the correct answer. Now, Swami Vivekananda always wanted to find out the truth and challenge. And he naturally went, and that man was there. He went 10, 12 of his monk friends, and all of them went. And so that it doesn't get mixed up, so Vivekananda was asked, the monk said, "Write down something on a piece of paper and keep it in your pocket." Everybody wrote down 10, 12 of the monks. And after some time, the same, that saintly person said, "Okay, now tell me a sentence in any language." Vivekananda told the same sentence which he had written down, and he was very good in Sanskrit. He was a Pandit. He wrote down a long sentence in Sanskrit which this man could not have known. And as he told it to the Pandit, Pandit said, "Open the paper from your pocket." And he took out, Swami Vivekananda took out the paper, and he found the same sentence was written down by him, exact sentence Vivekananda spoke, and he had spoken to him. This man had wrote down something to another monk, and he had given it to him and told him, "Keep it in your pocket. Don't take it out till I ask you to share with it again." So this monk had also put it in his pocket, and he said, "Okay, now you ask me something." And this man, he said, "I will not ask you, I will just think of it." He said, "Okay." So he thought of in from Quran a difficult Arabic expression. And he said, "Now take out that piece of paper." And when he took out the piece of paper, it was the same in Urdu language was written down. This man could not have known something. Another friend who was a doctor, who was also accompanying Vivekananda. Doctor had written down in German some language, in German language, some words. And he had kept it in his pocket. And this monk who was being challenged, he said, "Is this the language you wrote down and spoke?" Vivekananda says, "I could not believe it." Now this is what existed in our Bharat. Vivekananda is writing in this book. Please read it. It's page number 101. He went back with another new sort of 10, 12 friends. He said, "I must have been cheated somewhere." He goes and again asks it. And this time, this monk was again right 100% in Vivekananda's words. This is the power of the ancient India, which you and I have forgotten, and we have become cool American and wanting to study Shakespeare and Shelley and Keats. And this is what we tell our children. You study everything. But don't forget your ancient India's rich heritage of India. That is our Mother Vedanta. Just imagine, Harvard Divinity School, Harvard is teaching HDS, Harvard Divinity School is teaching Vedanta. New York University, NYU, David Chalmers, Ned Block, great professors, head of the Department of Mind Brain, David Chalmers, Australian, teaching Vedanta. Evan Thompson in British Columbia University in Canada and Vancouver, capital of Canada, is writing down that historical events of the world should not be dated by BC and AD, before Christ and Anon Domino. It should be dated before Upanishad and after Upanishad. Amazing. Come on, my dear devotee. Let me tell you one more story. And before I tell you this story, I want you to understand today's topic was in short and I'll share with you on Sunday in detail. If I am this consciousness, being blessed by the infinite Sat Chit Ananda, Taittiriya Upanishad is telling me that consciousness, existence, and joy. If I am that, then when I am born, I am being presented to me this body. I am being presented to this body. I am also being presented to this whole world, the Vishwaha. Then either I am all of it or I am none of it. This is the statement. And you know, this statement was made by Swami Virajananda, who was a disciple of Paramahamsa Ramakrishna, Vivekananda's disciple. And he says, either since the consciousness with which I experience the world, I experience also my body, I can smell it, I can taste it, I can touch it. If I can feel this whole body, I can feel this whole world. When I am conscious, then only I can see the whole world, correct? I also, when I'm conscious, I see my whole body. Then either I'm all of it or I'm none of it. And then this is called the awareness. So everything in this world, I say this body, this thought, this external world revealed to me, people, all of it together, the mountain, the ocean, the desert, everything is presented to me. And also my hands, my body, my face, my legs, everything of me is presented to me by my being conscious when I'm born with this body. Why is it I say this is me and that is not me? And studying this, I came across this wonderful verse from Ashtavakra Gita. And in chapter 2, verse 2, the same poem as explained by Swami Sarvapriyananda is one of his talks, and I happen to get enlightened. I must share with you. You know, this is Thomas Byron. He translated this Ashtavakra Gita in this book, and it is saying the heart of awareness, Ashtavakra Gita. A beautiful book, and see if you can get it. And you know what it says? When all poets, when all philosophers, when all great saints, when they stop, Ashtavakra begins talking. I will just chant out this little Sanskrit word and I'll explain to you, translate with limited knowledge that I have with the divine grace of the Mother. Ashtavakra, second verse, second chapter. Yatha prakashayam eka deham enam tatha jagat Yata mama jagat sarvam athava na cha kinchana yatha prakashayam eka. As the prakasha, the light, is explained to me, is being revealed to me. And also, deham enam tatha jagat, my body, and tatha jagat, the whole world. Yatha mama jagat sarvam. Either the entire universe is mine, or athaba nacha kinchana, or nothing of it is mine. Can you comprehend that powerful verse? And Ashtavakra, his body was broken 8 parts, and he was the Janak Maharshi's guru. I will tell you more about him. I welcome you. There is another beautiful story with which I'll finish. Swami Vivekananda's story. He is writing, and this picture is drawn over here, is that picture. You know, he came to know that in Hyderabad, Vivekananda was visiting with his fellow monks, walking around, travel all over India. And he came to know there is a man over there. If you go and ask him for anything, he will give it to you. Naturally, Vivekananda, very curious, he is discovering India. He went and he met him. And to make it challenging for him, with the monk's permission, Vivekananda took out all his clothes except his loin clothes. And Vivekananda gave him his own blanket because it was cold in Hyderabad and put him in the corner of the room. And then that man asked them, okay, you can ask me what you want. And Vivekananda says, all of us. He said, just think of a fruit. Don't have to ask me. Just think of it. And Vivekananda said, we all thought about fruits name which is not even, they had not even grown in India. And he said, this man took out from under the blanket which he only given. And what? Fresh oranges, huge grapefruit with even moisture dewdrop, grapes, bunches of grapes, and fruits which is never seen in India. And then this monk says, come on, eat it. And he said, naturally, Vivekananda says, we didn't want to eat it because we thought it is all hypnotism. And he said, then the monk himself started eating. Seeing that, he said, we all ate. And we were amazed. They were all so true to the taste. Vivekananda writing that the weight of the amount of fruits this monk took out must be more than 2 times the weight of his own body. He said so much of fruit. And Vivekananda said, I asked him, how did you do it? Can you explain? And this man humbly said, no, it was just a little sleight of hand, just a little magic. And Vivekananda is saying, it is impossible to make magic. Where could he produce so much of fresh fruit instantly? Vivekananda goes ahead to explain, India, Bharat. Bha is Brahma Jyoti and Ratha is those who are immersed in it. Always have been immersed with these great talents and skill. Yoga, Raja Yoga, and Karma Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga, takes you to that world. But he also cautioned, do not utilize it, these powers, you will get the power. You will hear Anahata Shabda. You will see a divine light. You will get the power. You will know. Don't utilize it because you are getting deviated from seeking the power of the consciousness which is you. Aham Brahmasmi, Main hi Brahma hu. Our idea is not to show some tricks or gimmicks, but to realize oneness. Jai Guru.